Wondering if that other way had some stuff before you came up this way. But you might not want to risk it without.
No. I figured that this would have been the off the trail way.
Yeah, you'd think.
It was.
Because I mean, it is in the opposite direction.
Yeah.
Maybe just sequence breaking it and do this any way up for us.
It could just be you're derping around.
I'm always derping around.
Keep going, let's see how far this... I mean, you know... We've got flashbangs, so...
Yeah.
You can always use those.
On this map.
And regular flares as well.
And regular flares. They're not going to do you much good, though.
Flare gun never actually have a card.
Holy hand grenades. Oh, that's right, you're going up to that. Okay, that's where you're going. That's not where you need to go, but it's a good place to go.
Okay.
And you might find some stuff there.
Yay, stuff.
Yay!
Danny had stepped out, but what stumbled back in was something else. Something alien. A monster. Walter tried to kill it, first with his fists, then a chair. It wouldn't die. Instead, it kept coming, unaffected by the beating it had taken. After Walter managed to kick it down the cellar stairs, fear took over. He ran, got behind the wheel, gunned the engine. The booze wouldn't make him forget, but he knew he had to try.
Significant probability of radio works.
And I have to go all the way back down.
Are you found with a flare?
Flares
Yeah,
are
a page.
Two players on page.
So, get over the page.
I wouldn't jump. I would pick that.
That bird was having too much fun imitating things in here.
Parrot or mockingbird?
Neither, actually. It was no. It was some sort of like bird in the Amazon.
Now that's where you can't.
I'm going to run into the light real quick.
There was no sensible reason for the power company work lights to be here. It was almost as if they'd been left for someone like me to use.
From the back. That will only go for a little bit.
Reload again.
Shoot gun. Oh, yes.
The bulldozer's engine roared to life.
Oh,
Mud and
crap.
rocks flew as it fought for traction. It crashed through the concrete wall and landed heavily in the yard. If it were an animal, it would have shaken its head after the impact, fixed its eyes on me, and charged. Of course, it had no head, nor eyes. Shadows crawled on its form, twisting it into a monster. Then, it came for me.
Not up there. By the house.
Sarah trusted her gut, and her gut said Agent Nightingale was an asshole. He felt wrong, and it wasn't just the smell of stale booze. It was in the way he flashed his badge, pulled rank, the look in his eyes when he wanted answers. Where was Alan Wake? What was this about an accident? Where was his wife? And most importantly, why did she let Wake go? He wouldn't answer her questions. Federal business was all he'd say.
shape.
Hello?
The most stubborn man I've ever met.
Alice? Alice?
Alan, I'm so afraid. It keeps me in the dark. Please help me. I look at you, Alan, and it's not you. It's something else. Looking out from behind your eyes.
Alice, I'm here.
I'm so alone here. It's all gonna go to hell. You need to be careful. Cooperate.
The connection had been terrible, but that wasn't the only thing that hadn't been right with the call. She sounded wrong somehow, but she had called me.
And the inflection, all sorts of off.
The pipe wrenched itself loose from the bridge's steel framework. Wrapped in darkness, it floated in midair, twitching. For a moment, I didn't understand what I was looking at. The heavy object lurched at me with impossible force. I threw myself out of the way, but just barely. When I turned my flashlight on it, it shook in a dark rage before it flew at me again. I could see a railway bridge up ahead and a warehouse of some sort on the opposite shore. I hoped I could find a car from there.
Pedro, you're seeing a bridge. How does that make you feel?
Those are bridges.
Oh. Did you see that? On the rock? That rock.
Oh.
There we go. Nope. Stump. Stump.
Stumps and dispute.
Stump say keep going that way. Yup. There it
What's
is.
that?
I think there might be bad dudes later.
Bill's here.
And shotgun ammo.
There's names.
Good things to have.
Well, you probably want him again.
Meaning you're about to get turbo screwed. Like I said. And now you can go reload because there's still excess ammo.
Oh, yeah.
Game in the system. Game in the system.
Well, it's, I think not so much gaming systems. It's literally put their split in that quantity so you'll be able to do it.
I don't know that it's deliberately put there so that you'll be able to have full ammunition again after getting attacked.
I think it is. The amount they put there is such that,
That's probably true.
yeah. No, the water is much.
I'm telling you, it's like a myth.
This looks safe.
The darkness that was pursuing me was growing stronger, and it was taking over everything in its path.
I seem to recall those being rated.
Oh yeah, at least
Laters.
once.
He got really frustrated with the guns at the telekinesis. Especially when it starts
The darkness that was pursuing me was growing stronger, and it was taking over everything in my life. I slammed the door shut right in his smug face. He pleaded for me to open the door. True to form, the asshole actually thought I would obey. I had no sympathy left, no guilt either, not for him. I took a moment to savor the scream. I bet I had a smile on my face. It was all that I had time for. The dark presence was inside the lodge with me.
I know what happens to Nightingale, at least.
As a teenager, just starting to get interested in writing, Stephen King had been a source of inspiration to me. I thought about all the inanimate objects that had come to life in his books. No one is safe in a good horror story. Certainly not the protagonist. That's what makes them fun. This was anything but. The darkness could possess anything, and it was getting closer.
There. Yeah. It is a lot better.
Does it have more power or is it more charge?
Yes. Oh, this part's gonna suck though.
Hooray.
I think it's after this part that you may be able
Ooh, thermos.
Yeah. Sitting there.
to see, it says coffee service. It's specified. So those are your right, like flares.
Yep, and there's a flare sitting there in a box.
Where is the box? On the wall.
Yep, box on the wall.
Look at the box.
Oh, I went to.
More ignition for your new powerful flashlight.
That's the other nice thing about the flashlight.
Take the facts of our existence for granted, unaware that they are merely a thin veneer of desperate self-delusion covering a vast cosmos of madness and horror. All too often, the stars are right. In Night Springs. Tonight's episode, a family occasion. Journalist Alvin Derleth's trip to study the local customs of an insular community in Night Springs has been less than successful. Until tonight.
Well, I'm glad you changed your minds about this. Ancient customs, local mythology. My editor loves this kind of stuff.
Well, Mr. Derleth, we don't want to feel like we're on exhibition, but you have demonstrated the seriousness of your intent.
Oh, I am serious. Really, just do your thing. I'll stay out of your way and observe.
Actually, I thought you could assist us. I'm afraid we are a man short. It would provide you with an intimate perspective.
Could I really?
Of course, Mr. Derleth.
Well, I guess that's the least What would I have to do?
Oh, here. Let me show you with a kiss.
What are you doing?
Oh, Mr. Derleth, you have well pleased Nixie Perka, the dweller in flesh. Your body shall host 1,000 young, and all shall be glory. Shh, darling, be calm. Shh.
Alvin Derleth learned a harsh lesson. If you go looking for mythology, it may come looking for you. And such quests always bear fruit. In Night Springs.
Goofy stuff. Got it. Ooh, batteries.
That
And ammunition. Meaning you're about to get turbo screwed again.
Oh boy, that's my favorite kind of screw.
Ooh, page.
The darkness surged towards me, sucking everything loose from the ground into its depths, tugging at my clothes. I saw the flare the kidnapper had dropped and threw myself towards it just as I felt my feet leave the ground. The darkness embraced me with the force of a tornado. Somehow I managed to light the flare. The darkness roared and cast me away. I fell toward the dark waters of the lake far below.
Oh, that was. Oh, wait. Get stuff in the box.
Oh.
Well, I would. There's many boxes. This is supposed. You weren't supposed to save those flashbangs. Apparently, you weren't supposed to still have those. That's cheating.
You can probably still do an amusing amount of damage to make it run over flares, though. Toro.
Oh yeah.
But the flares don't actually do damage.
They do to the things that are just needing to be lighted up, because all of the TK objects, like the bulldozer and stuff, they'll just take damage from the flashlight. Sure.
And it was like running right
and you
over
see
it.
that? What do you see in that light over there, Mark?
I see... truck?
Yes.
Yeah, truck. Better get you.
Lithium batteries are better, too. Is that another box you want to open?
Yeah.
Ooh, you can keep the truck.
I had never been this glad to see the sunrise. I had a couple of hours to get to the coal mine. The coal mine wasn't far now. Today, I would meet the kidnapper, and he would give me Alice. I wouldn't give him any other choice. A drowning man will clutch at a straw. Little by little, without realizing it, I'd come to believe that the story in the manuscript was coming true. The current of its narrative had taken me deeper and deeper into dark waters. Alice had been taken from me. Barry was probably in jail. I was a fugitive from the FBI. The whole world taken over by the dark presence was trying to destroy me. It all felt real, but it matched a textbook case of insanity.
You just wasted Mark's time. This is a pretty big ass
Yeah, but that's-
area.
What is this
What
doing
the
here?
hell?
Thermos!
In an armchair.
Overlooking a valley.
It's a
Out
scenic
there.
overlook. Come on.
It's a pretty nice view.
Yeah, that's not
I'd
a
put an
waterproof
armchair out there. I don't
chair.
know about y'all.
Not a waterproof chair. I would not put that chair out there.
You don't know
with
that's
the
not
elements.
waterproof.
It's not the kind of chair that
I
you
would leave a chair right there, and I certainly wouldn't have a towering thermos sitting in it like it was watching the overlook for some reason.
It's King Thermos.
Extra caffeine.
Salted of espresso. Ooh, check this out.
The Marquis de French Vanilla.
This is Pat Main, and
Look
you're
out,
listening to
Monarch.
KBF FM. Folks, I want to apologize for kind of abandoning you to that looping music track last night, but I was detained. You see, I encountered a big shot G-man with an itchy trigger finger who could use a lesson in manners and a boot in the ass, not necessarily in that order either. Now, folks, I know I'm not being very informative here, and I apologize for that. I really should just keep quiet, but I'm just so peeved right now, because some people just shouldn't be carrying badges.
Oh, I saw
I'm just glad that our Sheriff Breaker was there to straighten things out. And if someone I met last night is listening, let me just say, I'm sorry if my mouth got you in trouble. I'm pretty sure you're not the bad guy here. Godspeed, son. I hope you know what you're doing. Now, on a lighter note, I'll be talking to Dr. Nelson all morning. But first, a little music.
Oh, isn't that nice? The nice radio man thinks you're not a bad guy.
He's a nice guy.
I can drive this car too.
You
Yeah,
can.
but it's not as good.
How do you know?
It doesn't have the lights on top.
That's true.
Crucial point.
Extra lights equals yay.
More lights is more better.
Oh, no, that's the way I can.
Well, that's the way you would have taken the road.
Yeah.
But roads are for pansies.
And Fox is
Grand Theft Auto Pacific. There's no one to run over or to rob. You're just grabbing random vehicles.
People don't even realize their cars are stolen until they get out.
Or days.
Days.
Definitely go.
I don't think you can go.
Oh,
Definitely go with the porta potty.
go to the porta potty.
You've got to try. You've got to try.
Apparently.
Wait, are you seriously gonna try? Oh.
I'm not
I'm not even sure that's a real porta potty. It's standing on some kind of block. There can't be like a pit under there.
Hey, this porta potty's just painted on.
Either that or only has a 10-gallon poop tank, and that's just bad for everyone involved.
Where's the door?
You passed
You
the door.
passed the heck out of it.
Wow, I didn't even see that.
Dirt right past the door.
That's the door long enough.
Welcome back to
Red Bull
KBF
has
FM.
close to you.
Hope you enjoyed that tune. Now, Doc, you were talking about life and finding that special someone, that soulmate.
Well, you were talking about that. I was saying I don't buy it.
Oh, see, to me, that's strange, because I always pegged you as a hopeless romantic.
You got me there, Pat. But I think love's where you look for it. And you need to do a lot of looking, sure. But the idea that there's that one special person out there for you, and if you miss that chance, it's gone forever and you're forever incomplete. I mean, isn't that depressing? Or, heck, childish even? Hey, there's plenty of fish in the sea.
And apparently a fisherman has a fishing analogy for everything, but what you're saying, isn't that a little harsh?
Well, no. What I am saying is that your potential for finding that connection isn't limited to what's essentially a chance encounter. How is that harsh?
Yeah, well, I guess that's a nice thought, but let me say something personal here.
Okay.
Now, well, I don't disagree with you exactly, but I can't really fit that together with what I feel, what I felt for someone, because she was the one. She was. And I let her drift away from me. Maybe I didn't put in the work, I don't know, but, well, since then, and it was a long time ago, but since then there hasn't been anyone, not like her. And I'm not saying I dwell on her or haven't moved on. I like my life. I'm not living in the past, but I do miss the way she completed me.
You can't argue with the heart, Pat.
I'm sorry, folks. I had kind of a scary experience last night, and let's just say it's shaken a few things loose.
Hello, Remy.
Why is there a bed up here? What is this?
But these are like special little campsites where you get that like view.
Huh.
Come on, wouldn't you want to camp out in something like that?
Oh yeah.
No, did you see all those bugs? And the fact that a tree goes right through the middle so ants can come in forever?
Forever.
Maybe, but I mean the view.
The ants?
The view of the ants. Come on.
Yes, there are that many ants. Anyone will let us know that she is not afraid.
No, she's evil.
Remy, you are bigger. I'm not sure how much of that is winter fluff. And how much of that is kitten fudge.
Judging from the way she started to waddle a little bit sometimes, I think there's some kid fudge.
Well, I mean, then Vince might starve, right? I mean, that cat hasn't got a spare ounce on him.
Yeah.
He'll be fine.
Come on, Alan. Climb the stairs.
He's on the verge of starvation.
At least 70% has muscle, though, I can assure you.
Alan, climb the stairs.
Oh, look.
Oh, manuscript page.
Hooray.
For Mott, spying on the writer on the ferry had been a disappointment. His boss had made Wake out to be something special, but Mott hadn't been impressed. He'd gotten a good long look at the wife, though, and he liked what he saw. Mott had fantasized about goading Wake into a fight, but it hadn't happened. Still, he'd get his chance to see if the writer had anything in him. He'd been promised as much.
Kidnapper, I suppose.
I was early. I was supposed to meet the kidnapper at noon in the main building. The coal mine was quiet. It was a museum now.
I think I triggered that a bit early.
That's not a mine.
No?
That's not a mine at all. How did you trigger that?
This is the first of the
mine
outbuildings
is
for the
just-
mine.
Yeah.
Oh, we already passed the water pipe.
Stop that.
There's me, right?
See? Here you are. Oh.
And unfortunately, can't take the truck past here.
Oh, I can't just drive. No,
Drive it into mine.
You're not Indiana Jones.
Well, there were some earlier residents in the area. The true genesis of the town of Bright Falls came with the founding of the Bright Falls Mining Company in the opening of the Bright Falls coal mine in 1878. Although the work was hard and dangerous, many immigrants, Germans, Poles, Italians, Finns, and Swedes, among others, worked the mines.
Though the work was hard and dangerous.
While lucrative at first, the mining steadily declined in the 20th century. The seams were rich but hard to get at, and the volcanic activity in the area made the mine shafts particularly dangerous.
Oh.
Now, what is that in there?
With Nightingale gone and the night wind blowing in through the broken studio window, Maine stared at Sarah. The sheriff looked away. Maine's voice shook with barely controlled anger. That boy's doing more drinking than thinking. I hope you know what you're doing, Sarah. He's got a sickness in his eyes. You take my word for it. He wants Wake for a reason, and it's not for anything good.
In 1970, a volcanic eruption below Cauldron Lake, while relatively minor, caused most of the deep mining tunnels to collapse or flood. 32 miners lost their lives in the calamity, and all mining around Bright Falls came to a final stop. Now many of the remaining buildings are protected as historical landmarks.
I didn't want to go outside. Cops had to be looking for me. The noon sun turned the place into a sauna. The day dragged on. Different scenarios ran through my mind. Ways of how I'd torture the kidnapper to get Alice back. Or the different horrible things he could have done to her. I imagined her dead. I had no way of knowing she was still alive. It was killing me. I was running on blind hope. It was all a waste of time. The bastard never showed up.
Call his phone.
Wake.
Where the hell are you?
Change of plans. You know where Mirror Peak is? It's a big mountain north of where you are. You follow the path from the mine, you can't miss it. There's a lookout point there. I'll be waiting.
I'm through being jerked around by
You
you.
want to see your wife alive? Because if you do, you better watch what you say to me. Do we understand each other?
I want to talk to Alice.
Yeah, and I want the manuscript. Don't keep me waiting, Wake.
Hello? Hello! Ah! I'm gonna kill him!
I had to get to Mirror Peak.
You got that spot?
It was close. Maybe closer than ever before.
Blinky the button.
That's all it did. Whoa, that board surfing.
Physics.
And
Some stuff up there as well.
When Thomas Zane fell for Barbara Jagger, it happened fast. She was young, vibrant, and beautiful, full of life. He had never been a very happy man, and without any seeming effort, she had changed all that. Zane felt good for the first time in his life. Everything she did was another piece of a jigsaw puzzle he hadn't even known he'd been missing. And best of all, she made the words flow, strong and sharp. She was his muse.
You're the man.
Flashbang. That means I'm going to need flashbangs.
Yep.
Yeah.
Guns needs flashbang.
Somehow I read that it's like hashback.
Yeah, don't you love that new flashlight?
Also, that great modeling from Rockstar you were in.
That about tastes good.
Why would you want to?
This will get it. Although you're That's not an achievement. That's just Steam.
Smells playing games.
Stop that, someone else. You're not allowed to play games.
What the hell? The only way to reach the hillside ahead was to go through the building. I had to find a way to avoid electrocution.
Should I drive off that way?
You should not run into the gas station. Look at all those nice things that you can get in Turnbull. Don't do that yet, because that would be terrible.
Ground first. Once you do that,
Maybe that would be a good thing to save for next time. Considering
Did you get a checkpoint by getting into the fight?
I don't remember. I hope I did, because
Try turning off the power, see if that does
okay.
Alternately, it's 8:56.
Yeah. So which means 4 minutes until DJ Mon's show. So I'm going to call that good for the game for tonight. Throne of Games is actually going to be out next week. We're skipping that week. But we will be back on the 3rd with more too bad yet, but it's definitely very freaky. So, yeah. And then we'll be back with this on November 10th, which is a while. Which kind of makes me sad. I'm really liking this. But oh,
It's pretty cool. But that's okay.
so let's see.
Ooh, check your stats, yeah.
Yeah, let's see what's
82 kills with the revolver, 8 with the flare gun, 9 with the shotgun, 5 with the hunting rifle, 32 kills with flashbangs, 7 with vehicles, indirect kills 8, poltergeist 17, those are the TK objects, birds killed 239.
That's a lot.
Batteries used 16, which is not bad considering you've been playing this for a while. 45 manuscript pages, so almost half.
Hooray.
Coffee thermoses found almost a third. Can pyramids knocked over only 2 of 12. Chests found 8. Radio shows found 8. TV shows found 7. So half of those. Good stats on the TV shows. Signs found 7. Alarm clocks 0. Cardboard standees 0.
I believe those ones become available in the more difficult play. The alarm clocks and cardboard stands.
Gotcha.
Video games?
Yes, Night Springs video games.
Nice. Self-referential much? So this place is called Bright Falls?
Oh yeah, no, that's...
Night Springs inversions.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, they think they're terribly clever with their names, and
they are.
And they actually are. Clever bastards.
You know, I think it's convenient for Alan and Alice that they can have all their stuff monogrammed the same.
AW.
It's just hamburgers and whoop beer, okay?
I was going to say they have their own restaurant and their own root beer.
You'd think that might get confusing if they start trying to monogram their underwear, though.
Because their underwear won't look different.
I don't want to make judgments.
What makes you think they wear underwear, Brendan?
Hey, I'm not judging what goes on inside their own home. Is
And inside their pants. Literally in this instance.
I didn't believe there are massive design differences between those things. Never mind.
Maybe they both wear tidy whities.
There's still a significant design difference.
Yeah, significant.
Well, that was fun.
Yep. So, good night, everybody. See
Thank you, everybody.
I will be back on Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern for This Week in History. Up next is DJ Mon and his crew, followed by Buddy Major Bozo. So, stick around and listen to them, and have a good night.